Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful day here, and this video will basically be my review of my bike. This is a 2008 Kawasaki Ninja 500R. So let's get her started so you can hear what she sounds like. Right now I have an aftermarket exhaust, so that's what you are hearing. That's a Kawasaki 9-inch stubby exhaust, a full 2-to-1 system. Obviously it does sound significantly different, louder, more throaty. I really enjoy the pipe. So first, I actually want to talk about the looks. The looks are not bad in my opinion. For one, they are certainly older style, right? This bike was designed originally in the 80s and it wasn't changed all that much. They didn't change it because, you know what? It worked. They sold plenty of these bikes, and it's for good reason. It is a good looking bike. You definitely see the retro or vintage elements in the body and especially in the front. I do enjoy the uniqueness of the motorcycle and how it looks different than many of the sport bikes I see today. Overall, great looking bike. I mean, I keep it clean, so that's why it's really shiny. There aren't too many clean 500s out there, so that's the struggle. We talked about looks. It's a good looking bike. Let's talk about how it rides, and for that, let's hop on, people, because I can't wait any longer. So as you can hear, she got a nice little purr to her. All right, so let's talk about the power and how she rides. So one of the biggest considerations when people are buying a motorcycle is power and how much of it is there or isn't there. For me, I wanted something that had enough power for me to have fun with and not outgrow in just 1 year, but also not enough to get me into either A, an accident, or B, a speeding ticket or numerous speeding tickets. And if you read any article or look up videos about the Ninja 500, you're going to see all positive stuff about how this bike is exactly that. This thing tops out at 120. Not that I've taken it there. It'll cruise easy at 60, 70, even 80 miles an hour. It'll cruise. So that's the nice thing. If you're doing any highway riding, this is a nice bike to consider. So I love the Ninja for that. The 500 feels like it's not a crazy amount of power. You might think that it's close to 600s, right? The 600cc class of sport bikes is known to be very fast. Yeah, my guy. In the beginning, if you are new to bikes, you will feel like this is a rocket ship. Obviously, there are quicker bikes, and this is not a bike you buy for drag strip racing. But this is more so a bike you buy when you're a beginner, or you want something that's really just simple, easy, cheap, and does the job. That is what this bike is about. See, like that on a 600 Super Sport would probably be so scary. But don't take that for granted. Don't think that I'm saying that this bike is no fun. Don't think that I am saying that this bike doesn't have power, because goddamn, once you get past 7k RPMs, you are blasting off. Could you still get hurt on this bike? Of course you can. You can get hurt on a damn pit bike, but the likelihood and the amount that the bike tries to kill you is way less than that of a 600 Super Sport. But this thing is fun. Don't think that I'm saying that and that I mean that it is no fun, especially as a beginner. You're coming from a point of only being in cars and or, you know, small bikes, whatever. You're gonna love this thing. You're going to love this thing and not outgrow it in just 1 year, because it has a good amount of power that even a expert level rider could enjoy for sure. And the fact of the matter is, if you take these things on track, you could actually beat guys on faster bikes, bigger bikes. So let's move on to the third point. Relating to power, let's talk about how it sounds, because I know that it's important to consider how an engine sounds. Now just listen to that. Now if you listen, you're gonna hear that it sounds more like a supermoto or maybe even a dirt bike sort of sound. It's not your typical sport bike sound. And you know why? Because it's a 4-stroke. motor, and it is a 500cc motor. So these are two reasons why it sounds much different than other sport bikes, and I really enjoy that. And trust me, it does scream at the top. It does start screaming, but it's a as you can hear, much more like a supermoto or something like that. So that's where it differs. When you're beginning out, you don't need to throw a pipe on it. Just leave the stock pipes. That's fine, man. It honestly gives the best airflow and the best performance. But if you want to sound like this, then you're gonna need an exhaust, and I would highly recommend the Delkevics that I have on. It just sounds really well, and it's that 2-to-1 system, which I think it's better because it cleaned up the look. It saves some weight, and it just sounds really good. So let's move on to the next area that we got to talk about, which is comfortability. If you plan on really using your bike, you want to take into consideration how comfortable it is. For a lot of sport bikes, they aren't that comfortable. Now, the Ninja 500, being a sport touring, has a more relaxed, upright seating position. It's almost a standard seating position, almost. So yeah, comfortability is there, man. It's definitely a comfortable bike. And let me tell you, the seat, guys, the seat, even the stock seat is so cushiony. If two-up is a thing you want to do, this is definitely a bike that can do it, because it has both the power and the comfortable seats that your passenger, either lady friend, guy friend, whatever, will not be complaining that they are literally dying back there. Next up that we're going to talk about is cost of ownership. I paid $1,200 for this bike. Now, obviously, I scored a good deal, and this one was completely stock with only 6,000 miles on it when I got it. Now, let's talk about insurance. Insurance, super cheap. I am only paying $30 a month right now. This bike is not expensive to insure, and the reason is because it's not a super sport, and it's considered a sport touring, and it's only $500. That has lent this bike to be a very cheap to own bike. I mean, I am a 23-year-old male with a couple single vehicle accidents and/or claims. I think they've mostly fallen off by now, but there were a couple on there. Besides the insurance, the maintenance costs have been super low. I rarely have to do maintenance to this thing except regular maintenance, you know, oil, things like that. And it's just been really good to me. And as an owner, it's been a great experience owning this bike. And honestly, honest to God, I may keep this bike forever as my first bike. To just always have it as a memento, but also as a bike that I could always jam on and just get on, and it's simple and it's not too powerful and it's comfortable. My general consensus is that this is a great bike, guys, and you should go out and get one. And especially if you're a new rider and or someone looking for something simple and easy and cheap to own. It is extremely nimble. That's something I didn't touch on. The turn in with this bike and the easeability and the flickability is incredible. So this thing turns on a dime and is so light at 400 pounds. It is very light, guys, so it is not a hard bike to control. So all in all, this seems like a fantastic beginner's choice. And it sounds like that when you want it to. You could even make it into a Street Fighter build, a naked build, or you could just keep it, you know, I keep mine just, you know, full fairing, and it looks beautiful. I mean, I get a lot of compliments on it. But you could do some different things with it, you know what I'm saying? And it's everything that a beginner needs without being too much. And I absolutely love it. It is a pleasure to ride and own this bike. So, guys, that just about wraps everything up. Hop off here. So that's it, guys. The end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff people usually ask you for. Hopefully you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.